Hello, TFE, the total franchise experience where fantasy is at its finest. And, that's appropriate because today we are going to talk about the year one champion, Florida Marlins, in our preseason Ponderings episode 3. And we're going to take a look at Chris's Marlins because he is not doing a lot in the auction this year. He knew he wasn't going to be doing a lot in the auction this year. So, we're gonna get into the Marlins. But first, Tony, what's the Marlin associated beer of the episode here?
So,
I know you've got a good one.
Where in the world's Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is Belize, which is Chris, where he's been?
I think it's next to Germany. I'm pretty sure it was invaded by Hitler before the Netherlands, but after Poland.
G is a good letter of the alphabet. It's close to Guatemala.
Oh, not even close to Germany.
Famosa, which is the official national beer of Guatemala, which is a bordering
the fighting black roosters.
It looks like a black chicken. I don't know, dude.
You might even our British friends might even say that that's a black cock.
Yeah,
That's how they talk over
there.
I
wonder if Chris will allow like cockfighting betting on his.
It is Belize. You have monkey knife fights, cockfights,
and Famosa.
some horse racing, and Famosa. Plenty of Famosa to go around.
But it's not a bad beer. Not a bad beer.
Can you really taste the chicken?
You know what it tastes like? It literally tastes like all Mexican beers, like Corona and all that shit. Like you just add a lime or whatever, and you're good to go. Like it has a little bit of that skunky taste. And that might be because it's canned. That bottle, I literally bought this shit at Dollar General or something like that.
So full disclosure, people can think I'm an idiot, and mostly I am, but I did not think Guatemala was near Germany or
we had to look. We looked. By the way, we looked this up and we planned out all these beers I was drinking. And we were like, "Hey,
we wanted to have a tie-in of some kind to the beers you were drinking and the teams that we chose to do today." So, without further ado, that was a little bit of a do, but without further ado, let's jump into last year's champion. Congratulations, Chris! You're the man. You got to be the man for the entire offseason, but you came into the auction with very little to do and very little money to do it with. So, Tony, first impressions. You said something before we went live about.
I think it looks very
this team may remind you
Orioles.
Yeah. To the
Orioles. The one thing he does have, the Orioles did not have, is there's a lot of this position flexibility with like a Dylan Moore, a Sal Frelick, where a lot of those Oriole guys. Now, having said that, he's clogged up his utility spot.
Yes, he has. With a guy that scores points. I mean, to be fair, if you're going to clog up the utility spot, do it with a guy that scored 4 points a game nearly for the last 2 years. So that's an okay.
I think we're going to find that having some flexibility in that utility spot. What's the salary you have spent in utility versus how much flexibility you can have in utility? What's that worth?
2 years in a row of 3.8 points for Marcell Ozuna. One might say that he has been hitting the ball nearly as hard as he hits his wife. Right? Thank you.
That was just a layup. Just a
tip your waitress. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is largely the team that took home the title last year, and as we can see, a lot of the money is top end hitting with J Ram and Matty Olson and a pretty good catcher, I don't know if he was 3.5 point last year. It was 3.7. 3.4 and 3.9. So Wilson Contreras, one of the best catchers you're going to have. So when you look at the last two teams we looked at, behind the curtain of the order we did these, but when you look at Baltimore with Will Smith, when you look at Montreal with Adley Rutschman, the two of the other higher end catchers at $23 and $25 respectively. You look at Wilson Contreras, who put up 3.7 last year, had a year where he put up 3.9. He's Fantrax projected for 3.5 at $15. You have to love that value at catcher. And he's got other value just sprinkled in kind of throughout the lineup. $14 Sal Frelick could be pretty nice. A $16 Tommy Edman could be pretty nice. Perdomo's not a bat first guy, but the glove keeps him in the lineup, and he's going to play every day for $6. But kind of like you said, zero depth to speak of, especially on the hitting side. I mean, it's literally zero depth, not a single bench player.
You have a Chicago hating Wilson Contreras, so I have to have my bias in there.
That doesn't bother me in the least. He scores points, Tony. Look at this. Going back to 2020, he hasn't been. Going back to 2018 for that. I mean, this guy has never scored. Fewer than 3.3 points a game over the course of the season.
One question I do have is he had the value last year of being a catcher, and we know that catcher values are greatly inflated in this league due to the scoring.
I don't know about greatly, but you like to have a good one. You like to have a good one.
Holy cow! They're saying that. Oh, I guess I'm just dumb and I completely missed that you guys do not have a first baseman now in St. Louis. And
not right now. No more Goldie. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, holy cow, why is Wilson Contreras playing first base and he has to have you don't.
That's what he's going to be. Yeah, that's what he's going to be.
So he's going to be a first baseman.
Yes, so he's going to pick up some more eligibility there. So that gives a little bit of flexibility if Matty Olson's getting the day off or whatever.
Hold on, is it though? Timeout.
He won't have a catcher.
Who's he going to bench? He won't have a catcher.
Yeah.
And are you going to bench Matt Olson or Marcelo Ozuna?
No, but not bench. But I'll say,
it gives you some.
The Braves have the day off, and now Wilson has first base eligibility, so he can, throw Pedro Pajes in there if he grabs him off of Fab or whatever.
He picks up for a buck on.
A guy getting another position is never going to be a bad thing,
We are also talking about the guy who magically turned $4 of Fab into Jose Quintana.
Chris knows what he's doing, man. He's down there laying in a hammock. He's drinking stuff out of a coconut, and he's looking for spots to hang his trophies. I mean, there's really Now, again, when you get to the pitching, you see a lack of depth when it comes to like relief pitching, but he's actually got a lot of starters. I mean, it doesn't look like he has a lot of depth, but he actually kind of does. And while the top end is clearly not there, the depth kind of is. And $24 Zach Eflin, I really don't mind. What's he going to be, the 2 or the 3 in the Oriole rotation?
And
they're moving the fences back in a little bit.
Games. You're going to get some wins there, and
I think this team is fine. I don't know if we're looking at it today and like comping it with the rest of the league, which obviously we're not necessarily talking about right now. I don't know that I look at this and say, okay, this is going to be back to back. I don't know that I would say that yet. But again, we're doing this while the auction is going on. The auction's 2 days old. The cap hasn't inflated yet. Guys can make trades. Like these teams are going to look different on opening day than how they look now. This is just because we wanted to talk about this shit a little bit.
We mentioned, and we have the Marlins, which is good because they're defending champions. They don't have much they can do in the auction. They still do have 8 spots for $10. It's going to be
$10. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see, is he going to go $1 per player, or is he going to go all in $10 on one player?
I think that's probably closer to what he was, a higher dollar on maybe 1 or 2 players rather than 8 $1 guys or whatever.
I think he's going to go closer to if you're asking me, I think he's going to go closer to the 8 $1 guys. Just because looking at the auction right now, I would rather have.
Who the hell are they going to be? That's the thing. Who are they going to be? Like, it's going to be a while before there's dollar guys.
There is,
because the way the economics are shaking out. We talked about it earlier in the Discord.
But if you have guys who've already filled their roster or spent their money and can't spend any more than $1 per player,
sure. Eventually, we're going to get to dollar players. Yeah,
if you have a list of these are guys.
But I got my list of targets and guys that I think I'm going to be able to get cheap. It's not all that deep, man. If you're talking 8 $1 players, are they going to be 8 $1 players that can all contribute something, or are these just going to be 8 lottery tickets? Like, and even the high end of the lottery ticket is 1.5 points a game for a few weeks.
Are they going to be 8? Like, could you target 8 guys who are like, look, we mentioned Mike Yastrzemski earlier in a pod. Like, are they going to be guys who are like, look, I know this guy's got a lefty platoon role. He might not play as much, but I know he's playing maybe 2 to 3 days a week.
Yeah, he's not Mikey. Mikey Yes type guy is not going to end up going for $1. That's the thing. Anybody,
but like on a lower level
bats,
team of like a short, not Mike Yastrzemski because he's more the higher end of a.
No, I just mean his type, like a guy that's going to get 400 plus at bats that has any kind of proven track record. These guys are not going to go for $1.
Yeah,
I don't think you'll see one. I don't think you'll see one of those type of guys going for $1.
Yeah.
I just don't think we're going to see it.
I know I have 4 guys in my queue. 2 of them people don't care about, and 2 of them people probably do.
I've got several guys in my queue. You and I think I disclosed to you via DM the other night that my primary target is an outfielder. It's an outfielder that's on the board right now. Okay. And I haven't looked in a bit, but I hope I'm still winning him. It's Nolan Jones. My primary target is Nolan Jones. Completely showing my hand here, but that's my boy.
Is this one have a bit of a cushion on? Just for hypothetical, is this one going to be released probably in a day or 2?
Probably the 3rd day. So yeah,
okay.
It's today.
So then I'm going to say right now,
tomorrow.
I told you the target I told you should gone after was Brian Hayes, and he'll be off the board.
Yes.
And he's only going.
And he's on the board now too. Yeah.
$8 is a third baseman who's going to play every day.
Yeah, that's kind of out of my range right now. So yeah, we'll see how that.
And I was actually thinking of dropping Nolan Arenado to go after Brian Hayes. Full disclosure. Now, like Brian's going to be done by the time we release this pod.
I'd probably rather have Arenado though for this year.
But still, Arenado's $24. Brian Hayes is currently $8.
Yeah, but I mean, what else were you? You're already saying you're not going to use all the money you have. You know what else?
But if I would have had $16 more, I might have went after someone for a.
You're going after a bigger name player. Yeah. Here's the other. Getting back to the Marlins, I don't know that he's going to be able to rely on like Kirby Yates being like he kind of got some. I don't know what you want to call him. He hit on some guys that maybe were better than they probably should have been. I know Green was pretty damn good because of the Romano injury and stuff. He found his way into 24 saves and holds. Like I don't know if you're going to be able to rely on that combo of Green and Yates being as good as they were. Like not that this team was built on two relievers like being pretty good. Like this team is more than that, but like you said, he found the gem of Jose Quintana for next to nothing, averaged 13 points a game in 31 starts. So he had a lot break his way, and you have to win the title, you know, and there's never going to be a guy that wins the title in a 30-team league that's just like, yep, he had no good fortune at all, you know, like that's just not going to happen. But I don't know. I mean, the lineup looks really good. Taking into account the lack of depth, it still looks really good. 1 or 2 injuries, just like anybody, is going to be devastating. And of course, there's still a lot of moves he can make before, the start of the season. But the Marlins, it's hard to shit on them as the defending champion and the team being largely intact from what it was. Let's see. What do you think, Tony? Out of how many out of 10 Cuban sandwiches do you give the Miami Marlins? Or we could say Belizean coconuts if we how many Belizean coconuts? How many Coco Duna down?
No, let's do coconut drinks. Because
Coco Duna down-filled pillows.
Have you ever drank a pina colada out of a coconut?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you're not living life, man, I'm telling you.
But because I haven't, I want to we'll do out of 10 down-filled Coco Duna mattresses, the epitome of luxury, maybe some 1,000-count thread sheets, which I'm sure Chris is springing for.
How many all-inclusive drinks at Coco Duna?
There you go. How many all-inclusive nights out of 10? All-inclusive nights in Coco Duna. I'm giving the Marlins a solid 7.5 out of 10 all-inclusive nights. The lack of depth, especially, you and I are both sticklers for depth or the lack of depth, whatever you want to say. So yeah, that's getting to me right now. I know it's going to be addressed, but as it looks today, giving them 7.5 all-inclusive nights at Coco Duna out of 10?
God, it's so hard when you throw in the all-inclusive nights because it's like, to me, as a guy who's been to a couple all-inclusives, it's like you have to spend a week. You do. Otherwise, you really don't get the full experience. Like anything less than a week, I feel like you're robbing yourself. And I just did 6.9 for the guys north of the border. And Chris is north of the border, but he's also south of the border as well, with him going back and forth. Man,
it's a perfect equilibrium.
Yeah, because like I really think the team we did before the Expos is a little bit better just due to that.
Go with your gut, man.
Yeah.
Go with your gut.
But
yeah, don't pat Chris on the head just because he won year one. Go with your gut.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Just because I'm a chicken shit. 6.89999999. So that rounds up to 7 points, but I'm still
he's
saying
a thousandth of a millionth of a point.
Yeah, like that. I still want to give the edge the Expos currently. Now, the disclosure I'm going to say is this is subject to change depending on who Chris gets to fill out his roster. I still think there's a chance.
Sure, it's subject to change, but it's today. It's today.
It's today.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Expos slightly over him today, but I also am subject to change of I think that the Marlins could overtake the Expos.
All right, so 6.8999 repeating.
Yep.
All-inclusive nights at Coco Duna. I go 7.5 all-inclusive nights out of 10.
Now we're both expecting with this plug to get those free nights comp to us no matter what.
Oh, I mean, that goes without saying.
With Famosa, with unlimited Famosa.
You might have just ruined it by saying it on the pod. If it's supposed to go without saying, and now the wink and a nudge is a little more forceful. But yeah, there's your Florida Marlins breakdown. These were
Miami. Or are they the Florida?
Yeah, the Miami Marlins. I was going to go with Cuban sandwiches. Yeah, I was going to go with out of 10 Cuban sandwiches. But with Chris having the Coco Duna connection, well, the connection. I mean, it's his stuff. But yeah, there's your Marlins, and there's your first little chunk of teams that are, as we are in like day 2 of the auction. Tony and I had some free time to knock a few of these out. So we thank you for watching. We'll see you for the next little group of whatever. And Tony, keep it real. Go Iowa. I like that hoodie again. And
got a game starting.
Talk to you soon,
women's basketball in an hour.
See, Caitlin Clark was at the Chiefs game the other day.
Yeah, with Taylor Swift. Yeah,
she's in the ultimate strata now of celebrity. All right, man. Take it easy. See you guys.